Hello everyone, welcome back. It's Sunday today and it's time to bring you just a little video again, and today we're going to make the cover for our Autumn Lustre Journal. So I hope you're all excited to do this with me. Nothing majorly different from anything I've ever done before. I'm still going to make a soft cover, but I'm going to make a wider spine and decorate the top. So I hope that you're going to enjoy it. All right, so it's Angela here, if I haven't said that already, and if this is the first time to my channel, a very warm welcome to you. And of course everybody who support me and are just so amazing every single week. Thank you so much, guys. A big hug and lots of love to you all. Right, so let's get going. First of all, I am going to make a fabric cover. I will say that I'm not going to put the whole process here on the part where I actually glue the fabric to the cover itself. I have done something like that, and I'll link that video in the description below this envelope. But the decorating and everything else, I will be sharing with you today. So first of all, what I have got is a piece of card. This is a manila folder I've used, but any card will do. If you've got a large cereal box, that would be perfect. If you have a pasta box, if you've got any kind of card at all, go and haul it out. You know, the firmer and the thicker it is, the better. If you've only got thin card, stick two pieces together, guys. That's going to work as well. All right, so that's what I've done. I'm going to give you a couple of measurements here quickly. Let me grab the bone folder for a pointer. Okay, so what I've done is, starting on the right hand side here, I have made the width here 6.25 inches, and that equates to 15.75 centimeters. Now obviously I'm doing an A4 size. If you are doing a US size, I would imagine that your papers would, well, that would work. You might want to make it slightly shorter, but I think that the US size is slightly wider, so this should work. 6.25 from there to that fold line there. All right, so that's the first one. Then this was the fold of the manila folder. If you don't have a fold, just take a ruler, use your bone folder, or use your scoring board if you've got one. Just put it on at the area, the points that you want to do that, run this through, and there you'll have a fold line. Okay, so that's the first bit. Now I have made my spine here larger than I normally do. This is 2 inches because I have 2 signatures, and I tend to make each signature 1 inch in the spine. If I had 3 signatures, yes, I would make it 3 inches because I make chunky journals. That's personal preference. That's my sort of rule. Okay, so 2 inches from there to the next fold line, or 5 centimeters if you are working in centimeters. All right, and then the last bit here from that fold line again to the edge is a further 6.25 inches. So you're looking at another 15.75 centimeters. Just had a thought, if I measure this completely, you are looking at 14.5 inches. So let's just make sure that's 12.5. Yes, 14.5 inches for the full width. 14.5 inches is slightly longer than my ruler in centimeters, so let's just give you a little gauge here. You're looking at about 37 centimeters. All right, so that's 31.5, 31.5, 36.5 must be. Okay, so that's this way. Now if you're looking at the width of it, I have done 22.5 centimeters from there to there. That's going to give me 8.75 inches, but obviously with the US size you need to adjust that if yours is slightly wider. All right, so just check with your page. The way to do that is just take a page. Let me grab one here from behind me. Put this down on here, and then obviously the page is folded in half, forgot to say that. I put it on the fold line, and then I gauge the distance that I want all around. Okay, so that's how I go about doing that, and you can see. Okay, so that's put it on this first fold line here. There we go. And if you're happy with that, then that is absolutely fine. All right, so 8.75 inches that way, or 22.5 centimeters, and cut out a big piece and make the markings as I've just indicated. All right, so that's the first step done. I did make a fold line there with my bone folder and ruler, and I did fold that over. Make sure that you give it a nice burnish with something, a nice bone folder or whatever you have, and one over here as well. Okay, so there we have that. Now what I want to do is I want to make reinforce this a little bit. I have got something called Tyvek. I don't know if you guys have heard of that before. It is a really nice pliable and durable piece of reinforcing paper that I use on the spine. You don't have to use this. You do get Tyvek envelopes. You can use those as well. Anything, fabric would work, anything that you have, or just a nice thick piece of card. This has got a little bit of give. It's got a little bit of fiber in it, and that's why I like to do that. And I am going to stick this down right over here. I just want to make sure that it is going to fit within those fold lines, and if you go like that, it's not bumping up in the middle here, then that's fine. So I'm going to stick this down here with some of my glue. I'm using, for the cover, I will be using my beacon, either your 3-in-1 or Fabri-Tac, whatever you have. I think this is Fabri-Tac in here. Okay, so I'm just going to take this, and hopefully this is opened. Let's just test. Yes, it is. So there we go. And yeah, we'll get this stuck down. So guys, I hope that you've been following along with your journal and have all the bits ready. I think next week I'm going to finish up another one or two videos, and then I want to have a flip through next week, at the end of the week possibly. All right, so I want to get going onto our next project, so I'm excited to share that with you. Okay, now just get that nicely down there like that. Okay, you do cover this up so it doesn't matter that you have the white showing it or any colors like that at all. All right, don't worry about that. You're not going to see it. It's just really reinforcing your spine there. All right, now as I said, I'm going to be using my fabric, and I have got a lovely piece of fabric here. I'll just show you. This is a linen type of fabric, and it's got these beautiful trees here, and it looks a bit autumny with the leaves and everything. Now I was going to just cover this and leave this image like that there, but I subsequently looked at it for a day and decided no, I'm going to add to it. So please use whatever fabric you have. You could use beautiful gingham. Gingham would look beautiful on here. If you've got spots, those would look beautiful on here. I had all sorts of ideas of things that I could use on here, but I went with this fabric here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I've cut one to size here. As you can see, I've been messing around with it. I've got about an inch and a half, inch and a half here, mostly around the edges. I'm going to go ahead and stick this down. I will link the video if you haven't seen me do this before, because it's very laborious. I start with the spine. Well, it will be this way. Sorry, this Tyvek will be on the inside. I'm going to start with the spine here. I do that first, and once I've stuck that down, it's then this side and then this side here. Okay, so I will come back to you when I have glued this all down. If you're not sure, guys, go and have a look at the other video when you get to that part, and then you'll see all the details there as well. All right, so I'll see you very shortly. Okay, everybody, so I have now got this all together. As you can see, I've just glued it all down. This is now the outside of the cover, and I like how that looks. If at this point you're wanting to put any nameplates or anything on here, this is the part now where you would do that, because you don't want to do that once you've got your backing papers on. All right, so this is everything here. Now I just want to fold that over, so I'm just going to do that quickly. So just make sure that I've got this nice and folded along the edges here. Okay, so there's the one, and then just on the other side here, on the other fold line as well. So we want to just get that nice and burnished. Okay, so we're ready to go there. That's the back, that's the middle, and I might put something on there, and then that's the front. Okay, now this is the part where you want it, the exciting part, I think, because you want to get this all decorated up. Okay, so I want to put some other bits and pieces on here, as I said to you earlier, so I thought I'd just share that with you. But first of all, this is the bit I have measured out for the spine, and I won't be doing that today because I do have a video on that, and this is the last thing that I pretty much do before I stick the bits on the side. But it's a case of measuring just shy of the 2 inches for the width of your spine, so just 1/16 smaller. And then I've just measured 1 inch that side, so 2.5 centimeters from there, 2.5 centimeters from there. And the length of this is pretty much the length of the 8.75. All right, so just a fraction shorter. All right, so that's going to fit in like that, and I'm using this. Now I've just taken this paper, I've folded it twice. All right, so it's double thickness, and that's going to work well for me like that. All right, you know I use 160 GSM or 60 pound weight, so you're effectively looking at 120 when you double it up. Nice and firm, and that's going to go in there for the signatures, which we won't be doing today. All right, so that's that. I will then put paper like this on the edges, but again, that's after I've put in the spine. So if you're wanting to know, that's what I'm going to do there. But I will be putting in a pouch and a folio in here as well, so I'm not going to do that today. Right, now what I've done is I'm going to show you how I decorate the cover here. So just make sure if you've got a one-way design, you have got it in the right direction. So that's number one. And then I'm going to put some layers on here. Now I have actually used this postcard at the bottom here from my Autumn Lustre add-on kit. All right, so the journal card at the bottom here, and I have cut that out there, and you'll see what I've done with it there. Right, so you can see I've cut that postcard out, and I've measured it. Let me give you a measurement, because I know someone will ask me. This is in centimeters, 7.5, so it must be 3 inches across there. Yeah, 3 inches inside of the journal card itself. Okay, so that's what I've done there, and I've cut it off. And this I'm going to use as a little focal point. I've backed it onto card, so some old packaging. It doesn't matter what kind, but just to make it a bit firmer. And I have just sewn on 3 little buttons that I had in my stash. They slightly, that's a pink, like a peach, and a cream, and they're not the same size buttons, but I just thought I'm putting those on there. They sort of descend in size. Right, so I've sewn those on there as well. So that's the first piece that you're going to need. Then I've got a couple of other bits as well. So I've taken this pink fabric. This is from Liberty of London. I love this and I use it often. I've cut a piece, and I'm going to, because I didn't want that orange there, I'm moving this over the orange bit there. Okay, so I've got that little bit that I'm going to end up sticking down there. I have then cut out, the measurements here are going to be approximate, guys, 5 inches by 12.5 centimeters, more or less, about nearly 15 centimeters, nearly, and 5 3/4 inches. All right, so that's what that one is. Then I've got the background page, which is this lovely yellowy gold color. I love this color. 11.5 centimeters by 13.5, so you're looking at 5 1/4 by 4.5 inches, and I'm going to stick that on top there like that. All right, so let's do those two so long, and then we can talk as we go. All right, so move this slightly to the side. I don't go straight to the top when I'm gluing this down. I leave a little bit of the edges free because the glue does come through on these thin fabrics, and I like a little bit of a not everything dead flat, you know, so I don't go straight to the edges there. Okay, so let's get this bit down, number one, and as I said, I wanted to cover that orange flower at the top there. There we go. So I've got that like that. Okay, right, now where you find something's not quite sticking as you want, you just give a little bit more extra glue, and just go carefully on the corners because you don't want it gloopy and, you know, making a big mess. And there we go. So I'm happy with that, I think. Now I'm going to stick down this bit here quickly. So I'm going to do this, and this is probably, and I'm not usually a huge yellow fan, but I love this color. This color is really lovely. I like the way it turned out. So okay, so we've got that, and I'm going to just position it so I've got equal edges on all sides for all of these. So that's going to go down like that there. Okay, now I took my whale punch, and I'm going to show you now, and I've just cut out one of these from the pink like this, but in the light pink. I'm going to just glue this together quickly. Close it. I did ink on there. I am going to position it here in a moment after I put the next bit down. And the next bit I've got is just a little bit of the very small, I think it's 1/8 of an inch size gingham, and the size of this fabric is 4 inches or 10 centimeters by 4 3/4, which is what, 12.5 centimeters, there or thereabouts, guys. All right, this is going to go, I'm going to do it this side. Okay, I'm going to position that there, and I want this just to stick out over there. All right, so the good old pencil again, because you won't see it, just so I know where I want it. Okay, so I'm going to just put some glue down there, and we're going to just put that back where I had it. There we go. Just straighten it up a bit. Yeah, I do love doing layers on the cover. I hope you guys can see everything there, and I'm in frame properly. Right, now we're going to just do the same with this. Get some glue, not too gloopy. Not, you know, that's why I like this nozzle as well. Gets it down where I want it, and go carefully around the edges because you don't want to see the glue too much if you can help it. Right, and then we want to again position this centrally on each side, there or thereabouts. Once you've got it down, you can easily see how you want to go about adding little bits more of glue, a little bit more glue. Right, and then just carefully get that down. Right, it's looking nice. I tore the fabric, I didn't cut it with my fingers. Right, so there's that. And now what we're going to do is we're going to put this little bit on here as well. Okay, I'm going to move it slightly over this way, ever so slightly, so it's not quite centralized, but centralized this direction. Okay, so we're going to stick that down as well. Now, I hope that these instructions are easy enough that you guys are following along and able to do this. I haven't made it too complicated, I hope. I've tried to keep it quite simple so everybody can understand what I'm doing. I hope it's clear enough. Right, now I'm just sticking this bit down there like that. Okay, so we've got that bit down. And now I've got another few things from my fussy cut sheet that I put in my Facebook group. And I've cut out the flower, the 2 leaves, and one of the butterflies from that sheet. Sorry for all the glue. Right, so I want to just position these now. So I want to put that over there. I want to put this sort of over here. And then I've got this one that I want to position over here. And then I've cut out in a very light pink one of my skeleton leaves, and I'm going to put that at the back here as well. So we're sort of bringing out another dimension here. Okay, so I'm going to stick those down and have a chat with you as I do that. Okay, so we'll start with the skeleton leaf. Oh my gosh, I just hope that I get it right. It is always difficult when you're trying to put glue onto these fine little edges, and usually I prefer to use my art glitter glue, and this would work perfectly fine with the art glitter glue, but because I'm going with a Fabri-Tac and it's on fabric, I'm just sticking with this today. So use whatever you guys feel is right. Now I remember I had this quite high up, so that's fine. I'm going to put this like this. Okay, yeah, I do love those skeleton leaves, and I think for the next project I will cut out a couple more in the greens and things. So you know, got to make full use of these dies. Right, so we've got our little leaf coming up next, and again I'm just seeing where to position this based on I think it's going to be like this. Right, now I'm being mindful of the fold line of my edge of my journal here, so you know, you want to just keep an eye, oops, you want to keep an eye on this. So let's just get our little dahlia down. I'm going to miss working on this journal when it's done. I really had a lot of fun with it, and thank you guys for following along with me. You were just amazing. So I'm going to just stick that there. Right. Now you could put a little bit of dimensional tape under some of this and make it pop a little bit as well. That would look amazing. You know, lots of options. This is just what I'm doing, and I'm happy with how it's going to turn out, I think. Right, so we'll just put this one over the edge here. Right, so it's coming along beautifully. And then with this little butterfly, I'm going to put it over here, I think. Now, I was going to stick some tape underneath it, but I thought, no. Right, so let's put that just over there. There we go. All right, now this gap at the bottom here, I've taken my sentiment card, little sentiments for autumn sentiments. I've got Autumn's Lustre because I love that. I have backed it onto some card and just sewn around it and distress inked it. I'm going to just put some of this Fabri-Tac all over this like this, and there we have it. And then it's just a case of centralizing that. I think it's about there, like that. And just stick that down like that. Okay, right. Okay, guys, so that's how I'm decorating our little cover. So if I turn this in like that now, you can see that's what it's going to look like. All right, now I've got my 2 signatures over here. I really need to keep to trim down this one goody. If I just show you these two signatures, which are coming along quite chunkily, donk, like that, you can see by the time I have made it, put it all together, it's not going to gape too much. It's going to be pretty. If I go like that, you can see it's going to be quite all right, actually. All right, so we will have a tie closure and everything in there. But for the moment, I'm very happy with that. Now, I think what I need to do is just put those to the side again for the moment. I want to just leave this to lie flat and make sure that that dries nicely. And then I'll get on with some other bits. I might end up putting some lace down here, I'm not sure. But you'll have to have a look when I see you again. All right, guys, thank you for joining me. I hope you've had fun with that. I will see you very soon in the week. So I'll see you on for our next video, Tuesday, Wednesday, depending where in the world you live. And go and have some fun with this. It's been great. I like how this has turned out. I hope you guys do too. I look forward to seeing what you think about it. Stay well, and I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.